So you're the parent of an athlete. Your teenager or maybe teenagers love sports and they're diving deeper and deeper in as they grow up. I'm a sports dad with two kids who have played from their early years through high school. We've definitely had our ups and downs when it comes to wins and losses, playing time and injuries, but it's also been a lot of fun. I've had to learn how to have a healthy balance with it all. And I love to talk to you about doing the same. For starters, I hope you know that your teenager is not defined by who they are as an athlete. They're not a soccer player, a volleyball player, a swimmer, or a golfer. They are a child of God who happens to play a sport. So many teenagers today are wrapping their identity around what it is that they do. And as parents, we need to help them wrap their identity around who they are more than anything else. When they wrap their identity around who they think they are as an athlete, we all know that that's going away someday. For most of our kids, that's probably going away after high school. And so as a parent, I want to help my kids believe that they are so much more than just an athlete. One way you can do this as a parent, it actually might feel a little countercultural. I would suggest when it comes to sports that you reduce the pressure at home. That's right. Don't push them harder and harder by the time they're in their teenage years. That's a coach's job. Simply encourage them and love them along the way. John O'Sullivan from the Changing the Game Project suggests this. He says, the only thing that you should say to your kids or teenagers after they have finished a competition is this: I love to watch you play. No coaching, no critique, no telling them what they could have done better. Just let them know how proud you are of them for who they are and how much you as their parent love to watch them play. I started doing this when my kids were in their middle school years, and I really do believe I could see a weight lifted off of their shoulders as I did. They obviously had coaches who were pushing them to be better, but I could just be a dad who could encourage and love them along the way. Next, help your teens see their faith as a part of their sport, not something separate. Pray with them about their sport. Not that they would perform well, but that God would be with them as they go, that they would feel His presence and that they could live out their faith as they compete. Ask your teenager what you can be praying for when it comes to their sport, and then be praying for them all throughout the season. If your teenager is truly following God, they have an opportunity to be different than the other teens on their team. They have the opportunity to live out their faith and be a witness to other kids. Going back to their identity, when our teenagers see themselves as a follower of Jesus first and an athlete second, they might be more likely to bring their faith into their athletics. And finally, help your teens navigate the ups and downs of sports. Perhaps nowhere else in their adolescent journey will teens have the opportunity to learn how to live life when things are going well and when things are not going well, as in sports, right? They make a big play and they win a game and things are really good. They're not a starter and they don't get to play very much and things are not so good. They get some recognition for their performance and they feel great. They get injured and have to miss a few weeks and they're devastated. As their parents, your role in all of this is to love them, to point them to Jesus, and to help them believe that He is there with them no matter what. As you attempt to lead your teens, especially when times are tough, maybe point them to Romans chapter 5, verses 3 through 5, which says this: not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope. And hope does not put us to shame, because God's love has been poured out in our hearts through the Holy Spirit, who has been given to us. For some of us, sports is a big deal. Our job as parents is to not push our kids to be the best they can be in sports. But I believe it is to use sports as a vehicle to help them become the man or woman God has created them to be. It can be a heck of a journey if we'll just keep it in perspective.